Good day C3 parents, welcome back. I'm your coach Karien Pitout and we are going to continue our conversation regarding potty training, the tools of the trade basically on how to potty train your kids. So before we dive right into that conversation, I just want to say welcome back. It's 2021. This year that lies ahead is going to be an amazing year, a weird year for us as a family, and I will make you a video update on where we're at in our immigration process, and keep a look out and an eye out for our future videos regarding preparing kids for immigration, the ups and the downs and the bloopers we made. But let's dive right into the potty training conversation. Now there's a variety of tools and money making gimmicks regarding potty training, and I'm going to cover some of them. And I'm going to explain to you why we chose as a family what we chose. Some of them was financial decisions, some of them was just plain old I gave up kind of decisions. But in general, when we talk about potty training, when we start Googling and when we start asking questions on parenting sites, then there's a variety of things that pops up. One of them that pops up, if you can see the image in the video, is these cute little urinals. Now I actually did, we do have boys, and I actually did look at them. Seriously did consider buying them because we were following our kids' cues and because we're raising boys. It kind of just boiled down to the world became their urinal. It is easier to potty train a boy, and it really is. I think the biggest challenge in potty training a boy is to getting them to aim properly. These urinals are very cute. You need to aim for something, and then they have this. It feels to them like they've got this big achievement when they hit that, and it is something that, like I said, I've seriously considered. I just didn't. In the end of the day, we just didn't make use of it. The second thing that parents do use is little ping pong balls. These floating, like table tennis balls, like plastic float. It should be able to float in water, and when you flush the toilet, not go down the drain unless there's toilet paper on top of it. Alright, so ideally speaking, you get that little ball and you get a fishing net with a fish tank when you need to scoop out the fish. Those kind of nets, that's nice and small and it will fit in the toilet bowl, so you can scoop it out after you flush the toilet. The toilet is clean. So you're gonna have to keep your bathroom, your toilet in pristine condition, and not keep those balls in the toilet bowl itself. And reason being is, if someone poops or uses toilet paper, that ball will be flushed down with the wad of toilet paper, and then you'll lose that ball. And the idea of these little balls in the toilet bowl is for them to aim at it. And it's interesting, the taller the boys get, the worse their aim gets. I'm seriously considering getting those balls for our kids, just so that they can aim properly again, because for some other reason the seat is getting wet. They actually less accurate now than that, but I wipe the seat less often back when they started training than what I have to do now. Right, so they aim for the ball, and when they hit the ball you cheer them, and it's like this whole game for them. It's once again that whole emotional payout that they get. It doesn't really work that well with little girls because obviously they sit down and they have to look, and it's just a mess. So for little girls, do not use this kind of technique. Then there is the cheap potty. Now that's the direction that we as a family went, because potty training is only that amount of time, and it just didn't make sense for us as a family to spend hundreds of thousands of rands or dollars or euros or whatever financial unit you work in on something that they're going to use maybe for 6 months or 8 months, and then they're done with it. But these cheap potties, the idea is you take your kids to the shops, let them pick out their potty, and we do that when they start showing signs of readiness, but before we actually start the potty training process, and give a potty to them to play with. So if they break it, it's fine, you can replace it, it's cheap. It's not an expensive thing to use. Some of the potties actually have little lids that makes the carrying around of urine and poop through the house to the bathroom easier. Some parents prefer to only use the potty in the toilet room. where the kid can use the potty, and that is fine. Some parents are okay if they use the potty in the bedroom, or if they use it in the living room, wherever the child has the need, where they play the most of the time. The ideal space for that is to put the potty there, because their blood, they can't really hold the need to go pee that well, or to go poop. So the best is to have it as close as possible for them, with the least amount of effort for them to have success and successfully actually use the potty. And it's replaceable if it breaks. So that is, we went with the cheap one. Then there is expensive potties. I remember I joked with my husband, and really no offense to anybody that did go the route of expensive potties. If you want to go that way and you can afford it, go that way. It's up to you as a family, what works for you. I just looked at him like, unless this thing literally magically like cleans up any mess even in the house after they've had an accident, we'll buy it. It plays songs, and there's this like, it's magnificent, like little lights and things that goes boop and bop, and it plays songs for them while they're using the potty. And that's great. If your child is comfortable with something singing at them while they're busy doing their business, go for it. I know that our kids wouldn't have anyway been happy to do that. It would have freaked them out completely. But it has been a successful tool for many a family. So if you can afford it, go for it. Nothing stands in your way. It is a potty. It's a toilet. Use it. You know, once again, it's about that reward system. We want our kids to feel like they've done something good and successful while they are busy mastering this specific milestone, because this milestone can be scary and difficult and intimidating, and there's a lot of pressure. A lot of times when it comes to potty training, there's a lot of pressure on the kids to get this right, because mom gets tired and dad gets tired of cleaning up the mess, and we sigh deeply, and sometimes we even lose our cool when our kids have an accident. And I'm going to reiterate, please do not lose your cool when your kids have an accident. Rather go walk and calm down and then come clean up. They're not purposefully making a mess. It happens. They are learning a new skill. The same way that we're not going to scream and shout at them when they start learning to walk and they go and sit down on their bum or they fall. We encourage them, like, come, let's try again. The same when they're potty training. If they make an accident, it's an accident. Just carry on. There's a lot of psychological pressure that actually can cause that a child will refuse to poop on a potty, or even refuse to pee, and then they end up with UTIs and compacted intestines, which the compacted intestines actually has to get surgically fixed. So guys, ease back on the pressure, make it fun. And the singing and dancing, not dancing, good heavens, can you imagine a child sitting on the toilet that dances? Oh my word. Right, but the singing and the flashing of light toilets really is almost like really focused on rewards for the kids. The one that we used, so we used the cheap potty, and then to get them to go from the potty to the toilet, we used the steps with the seat. Now, a lot of families actually start with the steps and the seat, and that's fine. We just approached approached it from various angles in the hopes of success. And my kids are potty trained, okay, so now they use the bathroom. So the steps with the seat is really amazing, especially if you want to take that step over from the potty to the toilet. If you go and look, let's honestly go and look at a toilet. It's a huge hole with water in it. And our kids are tiny, and our kids are small. So when they need to sit there, their bum literally dangles into and almost touches the water of the toilet. So it's scary. It feels like that thing's going to swallow you in. So the whole process of using a proper flush toilet, it's not an easy process. So what helps is the steps with the little seat, because the seat makes the hole smaller, so the bum can rest properly and they actually have a proper sit down. And also the steps actually deals like foot rests for their feet. Have you ever had to go, I'm a short person, so every now and again I end up having to go to a public bathroom, and then that toilet, it's just a little bit elevated where I almost have to use my tippy toes to balance on the toilet, and it feels like I'm gonna fall in. I know I'm not the smallest person. I'm short, but not the smallest person in the world, and I still feel unsafe sitting on those toilets. Even though I know there's no snowball's chance that I will actually fall into the hole of the toilet, but still, it's not it feels wrong. So to eliminate that wrong feeling, those little steps are great. Then there's another one where you can use a little step, and then you get a separate seat that you put on the toilet seat that makes the hole smaller so that they don't feel like they're going to fall in. But if you have a short child, chances are that their feet will still be dangling. They're going to feel like they're going to have to hold on to the seat to feel safe. And it's about hygiene and all of that. It just makes it more of a strain. So ideally speaking, I would recommend, as a parenting coach, go for the cheap potty and the steps with the seat all connected in one unit. And that seat removes nice and easy. It folds away properly. It's a nice, it really just, it works. That's what I personally would recommend. Maybe I'm biased because we used it, but that is what I would recommend. Now let's talk about the process of pooping in the diaper. Now we're going through all, you've got the potty, you've got the seats, and your child still insists on pooping in the diaper. That is normal. It is a normal process. It's a big psychological step for their brain to make, to accept that something that they made that is solid is waste and that it needs to go away. Because now for the first time they are getting aware that, oh, I made this. And we keep all the other art stuff. Why do we want to keep this? This is waste. So having that process, pooping in the toilet or pooping in the potty, is a psychological step that they need to take. Some kids will urinate, potty train, and maybe only a year later fully potty train with pooping on the toilet, and that is okay. Don't put pressure on that. If we put pressure on the pooping part, that is the most dangerous part of putting pressure regarding pooping. Let it happen, encourage it, use different tactics to let them experience success, but do not force it. If we force it, we can end up putting our children in a position where they actually refuse to poop completely, and then they get compacted intestines, and like I said, that leads to surgery. So guys, please stay safe, wash your hands, wear your masks. If you have found this video useful, please hit that like button. For the last few that is watching, still watching, thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and please stay safe. Cheers.